So we wish, number one, we wish we were there in person. So we have to make sure this is an annual thing, right? So we got to come up there next year. We're in California right now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. So it's pretty early there. So next year we're going to be there, and we're going to be there in a good time so we can get some sleep. But my name is Greg Zanone. I'm the co-founder of Trust BV, which is in the back there. We also have Influencer War, which is our game that we already developed. We've been developing for 2 years. And it has, which funny enough, and I'm sure everybody over there knows, that 2 years ago, nobody was talking about NFTs. So all we said was they were digital assets. Now with all the hoopla with the NFT world, now they're NFTs. And, we're just really excited about not only the game, but everything else that we have, including all the celebrity collections, including the Ghostface Killer one, of course.
That's right. And Ghost is not able to be here with us today, but we're still going to be talking about celebrities and how they can come into the Fantom community and we can all work together. And actually, celebrities want that. They're interested in connecting with their fans, and we see NFTs and blockchain certainly as a way to make that happen.
Yeah, so we have 45 minutes. So I'm going to start out with a huge thank you to Fantom, first of all. John, he just went on. He was in a fish tank. Hopefully you guys loved the fish tank view. So that was exciting for us to see. But I definitely want to thank Fantom and Keynote. Everyone's been really, really good for us. We have some incredible relationships in the blockchain space. I've been in the blockchain space for about 5 years. And really, really good relationships. It's funny enough, and I'll tell a little story down the line, but we created our first NFTs in 2018. One was with Chief Keef. We actually got some utility. We put some in game. But again, nobody was talking about NFTs. We wound up pushing that a little forward. But we established some really, really good relationships in the space. I mean, some incredible relationships with some big companies. Actually, the first NFT that we did in 2018, we did with Devin at OpenSea, which I became good friends with. So the relationships are really, really big for us. And the reason why we're here and the reason why we're presenting is because of the Fantom Foundation staff, right? I met John a few months ago, and we've been talking to John and Mike and Sam and Simone, and that's a really big part of us is relationships, especially when it comes to the celebrities. So we wouldn't be here unless if it wasn't for the Fantom community and the Fantom staff. And we do believe community is the biggest thing in the NFT world or the blockchain DeFi world. And that doesn't happen unless the leadership is as good as it is in Fantom. So I just wanted to give a huge thank you. Again, the community, we're going to try to build as many celebrities in this community as we can and really do it in a cool, exciting way. And that is only because of the relationships that we have with the Fantom Foundation staff and just the leadership there, because we do believe that the leadership, it just trickles down to the community. And since the community is the biggest part of what we do, that means the leadership definitely comes into play. So they're definitely thankful for all the Fantom staff, Mike, Sam, Simone, John, and all the keynotes for us to having us. And hopefully you enjoy this presentation. I keep talking. I talk a lot. So this one is going to help me kind of tone that down a little bit. So I definitely wanted to start out with a big thank you. And now we'll go into the good stuff, which is bringing our celebrities into the NFT and the blockchain and potentially the DeFi world. You want to go on, or you want me to keep going?
You go for it.
See, this is the problem. This one lets me go, and I just keep going. So a little bit about me is I try to do things differently all the time, right? It's funny. I talked to a big NFL agent. I'm in the sports world, sports, celebrity, music. And I talked to a big sports agent just the other day who put out a few NFT collections. One really, really good one. It was with Mahomes. So it went out really well. But I had a big conversation with him, and he was talking about just watching the space. Everyone has to watch the space to see what's going on. And I get that. I do it too. But we try to go a little above that, right? We watch what's going on, of course, to watch the trends and all that stuff, but we want to be a trendsetter. We want to do things very, very different and start those trends instead of just watching the space, seeing what happens and seeing what sells and do that. We want to do things differently, and hopefully people can mirror that. So with our celebrities, it's a big deal to not only get them doing what's selling, but get them doing different things and get them doing a lot of things, not just a digital trading card or something just that everyone's doing, right? We want to do things different. So we definitely get our celebrities involved in a lot of different NFT collections, and that's across the board. She's going to stop me here.
I'm going to stop him.
This is what happens.
And take a little bit of a step back because I think some context setting might be helpful for the audience. So I'll just ask some questions and then you can answer how
I like it.
That. Make it a true panel, right? So how have celebrities engaged in the NFT space up until now?
Yeah, as you can see, the celebrities, first of all, as you can imagine, celebrities get taken advantage of all the time. And this really, really bothers me from the sports side of things. And I see it on the music side. People see a way to make money, that little dollar grab, and they try to take advantage of it. We're seeing it right now with a few of our guys, right? And that's something that really bothers me. And it's typically people that don't even know the space, right? They just want, oh, it's an NFT. There's a digital trading card. Of course, let's get this athlete a digital trading card. And it just doesn't make sense. But the athletes and the celebrities and the music artists, I did a panel 3 years ago, and it was a matter of, we just, celebrities just didn't feel comfortable in the space because the space was too techie, right? And that's changed now. So hopefully we can get those celebrities in. But right now, celebrities and music artists are doing very traditional digital trading cards, content, very, very, very traditional things because they're taking what the agents and other people are coming and saying, hey, you need a digital trading card. And they're saying, okay, give me a digital trading card. That's what's selling.
And they're one-offs.
So
right?
It's not
part of a larger strategy.
Yeah, the strategy is really important to us. So community is a big thing. So getting our celebrities, we're going to do things different in terms of not only doing a digital trading card or this or that, but we're going to do, obviously get them involved in the community, which we're going to do with the Fantom community. We picked that community to do this in because we do feel like I've been doing a lot of research, right? And going into the community and watching everything, and the Fantom community is incredible. So you can imagine what we're going to do is going to be really, hopefully powerful for the community, which is getting these celebrities actually involved in the community, right? Not just sending a tweet. A lot of these celebrities, they get an NFT collection and they just say, hey, this is my new NFT. Snoop just did another one, right? Here's my new NFT collection. But he's not involved in the community, right? He's not involved in the Discord, in the Telegram chats, and not, a big thing for us is actually getting the community to say, hey, he's part of the community. Let's buy his stuff. Let's buy her stuff, right? A lot of people don't realize that, and not saying this is the reason why we do it, but getting the celebrities actually involved in that community, it's really, really powerful because number one, the community feels like they're part of this celebrity. They feel like they're friends of the celebrity. It's what we did on the video game side where we pit, athletes and troops and military with the guys because they felt like they were a part of the celebrity. They felt like, oh, you're my buddy. Right. And that was a big thing. So getting the celebrities actually involved in the community, like really on a Discord and, not saying, hey, Ghost, here's let's go on the Telegram for an hour or two on Monday night. No, it's actually Ghost and whatever celebrities we get just on it. Say, hey, what are you doing? If I text them and say, hey, Stevie, it's Stevie Williams, another guy that we're bringing on. Hey, Stevie, what are you doing? Oh, I'm in the Fantom Discord channel right now. That's what we want. We want the celebrities not told to get into the community, but just want to be involved in the community. And that goes both ways, right? That's Stevie getting involved in the community, but that's also the community just embracing her. So that's what we're really trying to do. And we don't bring on any celebrities or any celebrity music artists that don't want to do that, right? If they want the one-offs, they want the money grabs, let them get it somewhere else. Right? We're not interested in that. We're interested in building a whole strategy and getting them involved in the community. So the celebrities that want those one-offs, they can go somewhere else. We're involved. We want to bring the ones on that want a long-term strategy, that just want to understand, that want to get to know the space and get to know the people in the space.
That's great. Thank you.
Wait, are you just asking the questions now?
I can let you go for it otherwise. Okay. So I'm curious about, maybe it would be helpful to show a single example of what a celebrity would have done before, and then give another example of what we're going to be doing with the celebrities in the Fantom community. So there can be a specific, tangible example.
Yeah, I don't want to name names, but there's a few athletes. There's a lot of athletes that have done NFT collections and haven't been involved in the community at all. right? And, it is those one-offs. I haven't seen too many celebrities outside of like Snoop and, some of these other artists. They're really kind of diversifying their portfolio in the NFT space, but it really still isn't getting involved in that community. One of my good friends, I don't know if anybody knows him out there, is Stevie Williams, big time skater, old school skater, owns DGK. So incredible. And just a really, really good dude. He came to me a few years ago and wanted to do some NFTs, and he actually started getting involved in the community, right? Now, a little different community than what it was Clubhouse, not to drop too many names, but everybody out there knows the whole Clubhouse world and everyone's an expert. But he decided, hey, listen, that's where he saw this little community. So he dove in, right? He jumped in and he put out a few NFT collections, one with Virgil, with Louis Vuitton. And, it did okay, it did really well, but he got involved in a community. Now, that's not the community that we're going to not so much take him out of, because anybody can do their own thing, but we're going to now insert him into the Fantom community, because the guy just wants to know the space, right? He wants to learn the space. He wants to know the space. Again, this is a guy that grew up from nothing, was homeless, became one of the best skaters in the world, and inserted himself into a space that he had no idea about just because he wanted to learn. Same thing with the fashion space, right? He inserted himself into the fashion space and he grew DGK, which is one of the biggest skating brands in the world, and Hotel Tango and a few other ones. So this is a guy that only becomes successful when he learns the space, right? And he wants to know the space. So that to me is a powerful thing, when you be so successful, yet okay with being the guy that doesn't know anything, just to learn. So a guy like that is, he did a few collections, and now we're going to bring him into the bigger type of deal, which is not so much the bigger collections, which we hopefully they will be, but it's more of doing it the right way or doing it a different way. And that's with a longer term strategy and really getting involved in the community.
And that longer term strategy applies also to other celebrities. So what we're seeing is that celebrities are actually interested in reinventing themselves and getting involved in the tech space. Just as Greg was saying about Stevie, they don't actually know how to do it. And so what we're doing is basically carving a pathway for them to see, okay, from point A to Z, here are the steps that I could take, and here's a pattern for it and a template, so they actually know how to navigate through, and then connecting them with the people that are also working in the space, such as you all. You all are the experts, and you are who these celebrities actually want to get to know and want to be involved with. So when you look at it that way, you're providing a service to the celebrities, and you get to kind of get an inside view of their lives, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So it definitely goes both ways. And again, I've seen it in the gaming space, right? We started a gaming charity in 2007. We were actually the first to ever bring online gaming to the troops in Iraq. First time ever, we had to get Pentagon approval, which you can imagine. I can go on and on about things that when someone tells me, no, we can't do that. Activision told me no, the military told me no. And then we wound up getting Pentagon approval to get internet, to use the military internet in Baghdad to play online gaming, right? Really incredible stuff. But we've seen in the beginning of that the gaming community thought of celebrities gaming as just a celebrity trying to take advantage of the space. Right. And I think that's almost the same thing here, where the communities are, and forgive me if I'm wrong, hopefully the Fantom community, we kind of turn around and change this game a little bit. But I think and it's because of the celebrities, right? It's their fault, right? Because it's the celebrities usually taking that little money grab and not getting involved in the community. So I think the blockchain and the DeFi and, the crypto and the NFT space, when a celebrity comes in, they're not looked at as, hey, you're one of us. They're looked at as, you're a celebrity just taking advantage of us and what we've built, which is a really powerful thing, right? Gaming was the same thing. It's like, we built this. Why are you now you're going to come and take advantage of that? I think blockchain's the same thing, right? It's we built this. This is our community. And now all of a sudden a big rapper is going to come in and take advantage of it and make some money. Forget about it. Right. So I think it's going to go both ways, right? It's the celebrities actually showing the community, which I think the celebrities owe it to the community to show that they want to be there. But then it's hopefully, and again, the Fantom community, we want you guys to help us out embracing the celebrities, because I promise you, we will not bring on a celebrity into this community if they don't want to be there. We don't want that. You guys don't want it. It's not going to be good for them. So we're not going to do it. So we promise you, I'm going to throw that out there. We promise you that we will not bring in any celebrities unless they want to be there. So what we're asking from you, and you got to help us out in this, is that you embrace these celebrities when we bring them, right? You embrace these rappers. You embrace Big U. We're bringing on Big U. If anybody ever heard of him, we're bringing on some characters in the game that hopefully they can be embraced by this community.
Let's actually give a little background on Big U. Do you mind?
No, you give the background on Big U.
No chance.
So yeah, we'll talk. The Big U he became a good friend of ours. We did a content series called Uncommon Conversation. Big U was a character, well, not a character, far from a character. Well, I'm probably the biggest character. He's just himself, but he was a former gang leader in Crenshaw, and now he did his time and he's out, and he's actually, and this, I got to tell you a story. This is just one little story, but it shows where Big U is now. So we did Uncommon Conversation. We had everybody in person, and one big agency, a big NFL agency, came to me and said, "Hey, Greg, we need one of our NFL guys to be part of this." And I was like, "No, everyone else is in person. Your guy is virtual. We don't want to do the whole virtual thing."
It was a closed conversation.
It was a closed conversation.
10 people at the table. There weren't extra.
Yeah, we had Arabian Prince. We had a few other NFL guys. Like we're not doing any virtual stuff. And they kept coming. "Greg, please, please, please." And as you know, when you're a big agent, very rarely do you say please. So they kept asking. And I was like, "Listen, why, right? We can do our own one with him, but why do you need to be with Big U?" And he said, "Well, this guy grew up in Crenshaw, and the only male figure throughout Crenshaw at all that was doing really good things in the community was Big U. So he just wants to be in a room with Big U." And that to me just showed who Big U is right now. Just an incredible guy. And listen, Big U started all the rappers, right? Snoop didn't do music without Big U. Nipsey didn't do music without Big U. Everyone had to go through Big U to do any kind of music. So this guy knows his stuff. But for us, who Big U is doing really, really good, powerful things in the Crenshaw community. So we promised him that we bring him into things that we can do to help that community and help the kids in that community. And Big U is going to be a part of our first NFT racing game. We got his car. He's building a 61 Chevy Impala, and we have his car coming in. It's going to be one of our first NFTs that we're potentially going to drop on Friday. So it's going to be, you guys can get Big U's car, right? An NFT version of Big U car that can be used in game and bet in game. You can bet your Big U car. But
we're doing a session on Friday, so come to that one, and then you'll get more information on that car series.
So a guy like Big U, right? He's an incredibly powerful guy. And again, we have music artists, rappers, celebrities, athletes. We have a lot of people, but a guy like Big U, listen, he is who he is. He comes with a lot. So do I. So does Tammy. So does everybody. But he's doing some really, really good things. So we appreciate that. We promised him that we're going to bring him in. And that's definitely a guy that we want to bring in. I mean, who wouldn't want Big U's car, right? And be able to race it. So a guy like Big U.
It actually looks really good.
And a guy like that, he wants to be involved in the community, right? He's doing a podcast. He just did a podcast with Shaq and, Snoop, and he's doing all these guys, but he wants to be involved in the NFT space, and he doesn't know how to do it, right? And a lot of people came to him, offered him a lot of money for NFT drops, and didn't accept it because he didn't want to do the wrong thing, right? He didn't want to be that one-off. So we're going to help them with that strategy, and we're building them in our number one, our racing game, and potentially doing something with the podcast, which if anybody wants a part of, any companies out there, any individual want a part of Big U's podcast, potentially making those NFTs and clipping them up. I mean, you see some of Shaq's, I'll send some of the clips out. Some of these clips are hilarious, right? You talk about some good content, and we can clip those up in the NFTs. But a guy like Big U, we're going to get him involved in the Fantom community. And come on, imagine that. I mean, that's a really, really cool thing, to Telegram and Discord with a guy like Big U. I mean, the rappers are one thing, the celebrities and athletes are another thing, the race car drivers, all that. But a guy like Big U that's doing some powerful things in the community that, has his background is a really, really cool thing. Just a good guy to know. And definitely we're going to bring them into the community. If you guys want them, right? We definitely want it. We don't want to bring anybody in that you guys don't want. There's going to be people like this guy doesn't want to be here. And if we get wind of that, we're going to pull him out.
And so you have a little bit of way to evaluate that. What we'll do is link his podcast into our Telegram and Discord. So we can start that. So actually, Big U makes me think of the charity element. So how are you thinking about how charity plays into NFTs and the celebrity space? How has it so far, and how do you envision it moving forward?
Yeah, charity is a big thing for us. Obviously, we have our charities. We're doing a lot in Africa. Funny story is about 2.5 years ago, we were talking to a big, huge organization, Mercy Corps. I guess I'm not supposed to name drop, but I am anyway.
The name dropping thing went out the window.
And we were actually going to do, I said, listen, we need to do, and again, this is 2.5 years ago, we were talking to them. And I was planning, I sent the whole proposal out to do an NFT summit in the Gaza Strip, just to teach people in the Gaza Strip how to do, or Gaza Strip, we were going to go to Gaza Strip, we were going to go to as many places as we can go to teach people that are good at tech, but maybe not have a job, teach them how to do NFTs and NFT creation and create some economic independence. So on the good side, NFTs have such a powerful way to kind of create economic independence because number one, not that anyone can do it, but, you know, because there is marketing, PR, there's a lot that comes with creating anything successful. But I think a lot of these underdeveloped countries and cities, just anyone can, tech and art, just some incredible stuff coming out of there. And they can, if they're taught how to do it, they can do some really powerful things, not only economic independence for themselves, but for the community. So on the good side, I think NFTs and DeFi, especially in countries like Africa or Ghana, continents like, and Nigeria and Ghana and South Africa and, all those different countries, I think DeFi is just, it's a need. So we got to educate them. But, on the charity side, just like gaming, right? Charity gaming raised a ton of money for charity. Our thing is not only raising the money, but making sure it goes in the right places, right? Because a lot of people raise a lot of money for certain charities and you never know where that money is going to go. So we definitely want to raise some money, even in the Fantom community, right? So we're big on giving back. Not so much to just charities, but giving back, listen, everybody needs a help, right? I didn't get to where I was without help. I don't think anybody did. So like even our first collections, right? We're going to dedicate some time. We're working with Blockchain Foundry. We're big on collaborations, especially when it comes to the Fantom community. We want to find different organizations and companies within that Fantom communities and kind of collaborate with them. Whether it's they help us level up, we help them level up, we level up together, right? Once those collaborations are really going in, especially when it comes from within, I think everybody raises themselves up, right? And everyone comes up together. So we're working with Blockchain Foundry again, just like the Fantom guys. These guys are awesome. I talk way too long on the calls, as you can imagine, but we're working with them. And what I thought is, they have stuff on the tech side that we don't have, right? So it can level us up. So someone's just starting out, like somebody in the Fantom community that's just starting out, that maybe they're really good at art or really good at whatever the case is, that wants to put out an NFT collection. It's hard, right? It's not just throwing artwork out there. There's too much of that, right? Here's a piece of art. Let's throw it out in an NFT. Right? It's not, it's marketing. There's a lot of tech, there's algorithms, there's a lot of things that you can do. And it's really, really hard to do it on your own, right? So partnering up with an organization and company like Blockchain Foundry, that's a big deal. So they're helping us out. We're going to help them out. We're going to raise each other, but maybe it's a good thing that one of our collections, we send some dollars to maybe somebody else in the Fantom community. I didn't talk to you about this, which I should have before, but it's a good idea anyway. So we're going to do it. But like the Fantom community, if somebody maybe we'll take, I don't know what it is, but we'll find some projects that somebody may need a little help with, and we'll pay, we'll make sure Blockchain Foundry is taken care of. So they help, somebody else with a new project out, right? It really is all a matter of, we want to be successful, and there's a lot of different reasons why we want to be successful, not for us, but we really believe on giving back. But the more successful we are, the more successful we want to make everybody else in the Fantom community, right? That's a really, really big thing for us. because I think I've had a level of success that I'm happy with. And there's no way that I would have had that if somebody else just didn't say, hey, Greg, let me help you out, right? So I think that's a big thing for us. So we want to make sure that we give that to some people in the Fantom community. So if you guys if anybody out there has a project that they think is going to be really cool, but you may need a little help with, we're going to come into the community and kind of help you out.
And we're going to be searching for those projects. We're actually already doing that. So that's kind of exciting. So you all know better than anybody that blockchain and the NFT space specifically, they've created this redistribution of wealth. And so we're in a moment right now where you see a lot of people that never had the opportunity to engage in the tech space before. And they're just going in and making the room for themselves now. I remember being at Microsoft and sitting down with the Microsoft and Amazon leadership. It was about 3 years ago, talking about how to increase blockchain developers and quantum developers. So we're talking on the extreme end of tech at that point. That was kind of the bleeding edge. And what they were realizing is that being able to just retrain their own people or go find people who had an interest but didn't yet have the skills, that was the most important thing from their perspective, because it's not that they have this entire set of people graduating from universities and ready to enter into their developers programs, right? Because the spaces are so new and the systems were in the process of being created at that moment. And there's still some of that happening as well. What you see is right now is the time that people can enter the space when they never would have had the opportunity to do that before. So what we want to do is just connect those types of people with some drive, some hunger, and excitement about their projects with the resources they need.
Yeah, and we also, we know you guys established a pretty awesome culture, right? I don't know if a lot of people realize it, but the blockchain is a culture, right? There's definitely a culture to it. And we want to make sure to enhance that, right? And we're going to enhance that with the celebrities because culture is a big thing in any space, right? As many people don't want to admit it, culture is a really, really big deal. So we want to make sure to infuse a little jazz, right? A little celebrity flair into that culture, but only if it works and when it works.
And that's sustainable. So it's not a quick hit on the nightly news, right? It's not just a single, oh, look what this collection went for. It's more about all of the work that's happening as part of the release of the series. Yeah. Can we do a quick time check? And I'm sorry, I don't know what time we started, so we might need some help from on site at the conference.
Hi guys, so you've probably got about 10, 15 minutes left. It's okay, but you have time for Q&As as well, so not a problem.
Perfect, cool. Great, thank you. So let's really quickly get a little more detail on the release of that car series. Thanks for the time check, by the way. So what is this car series that's going to get released? What does it look like? Who's going to be involved in it? And how is that going to play into the community?
Yeah, so first, everyone sees that we're the co-founder of Influencer War. So Influencer War it's a fighting game. It's a AAA fighting game. This game is incredible. Has been developed for over 2.5 years. Each avatar, celebrity avatar, we can create any avatar into a playable NFT, and the game is ready to go. So that in itself, there's a lot of NFT collections out there, that successful NFT collections, and they're successful in part because they say it's potentially going to be in game, right? We don't do potentially going to be in game. It's either in game or it's not, right? And we already have something developed with playable NFTs. So we're big on the game side. Again, I've had 15 years in the gaming space. So the gaming, we were partnered with Activision for over 8 years. We have unbelievable relationships in the gaming space. John Linden is a good friend of mine. He owns Mythical Games, which has Blankos. Blankos is a really successful NFT game. Just all the Gods Unchained, Guys Immutable, all these games are going to be really, really successful on the NFT side. So we're pushing hard on the game side because it's what we know, right? Influencer War is definitely going to be incredible. We're going to have NFT drops on that with different celebrities, maybe a little Def Jam style, Influencer War fighting game. Drops with rappers and stuff, but we decided to go a little harder and it's twofold. There's a reason for it. Number one, it's to get celebrities kind of involved in the space in an easy way. Number two, it's a really cool way to do things. Number three, we're going to add some elements to the game, like a betting element, which we think is really cool. So the concept is to get our celebrities. They all have these cool cars. Some of them may not have the coolest car in the world, but it's what they have, right? It's what they want. It's what they love. Some have a Prius like this one. Boring, but is what it is. It's what she wants. But
also better for the environment. Let's just get real about it. But
which is good. So, but some have the Ferraris and some have the Bugattis, and Big U has the 61 Impala, and really, really cool stuff. So what we're doing is we're taking the celebrities' personal cars and we're creating them into digital assets, NFTs, right? So, but the cool thing about that is not only can you own the digital version of these celebrity cars, but we're creating our game with it. And the game is going to be a racing game that you can level the car up, get new tires, accessories, all that stuff. But you can also bet your car, your NFT, if you want to race. Like if I have a Big U car and you have a Dr. Dre car, and I want to say, hey, Tammy, I bet you my Big U car that I can beat you in a race.
It's on.
It's on. So we're racing for pink slips in this game, right? So we're going to put up, if I want to put up my Big U car, we'll have an algorithm. It'll be completely fair. Obviously, we'll have some level up stuff and some cool stuff to kind of level up your car and level up the power and all that good stuff. But it will be, I want to bet you, and I'm putting my NFT up. And if you win my NFT. So you can imagine, if you own one NFT, you can wind up at the end of the day, if you want to keep racing, you can own 10 personal celebrity NFTs by just keep racing. And the cool thing is, like Big U, we're going to drop his on Friday. He has his 61 Chevy Impala. So we'll have 1,000 of those, but we're also going to have tracks. Right. So the tracks are going to be personalized to the celebrity. The Big U one is going to be a track, which is just an illustration. But the track is going to be from Crenshaw and Slauson through Arlington, his neighborhood. And if you own the NFT, if you own the track, if you put up the track, you could potentially get a little more power to your car when you race somebody else. And you're going to be playing with the background of the track. So not only the cars, but the celebrity tracks, which are going to be customized. Stevie Williams will put his track will be a skate park with a racetrack, drag strip. So again, if you can own the NFT for the track and the NFT for the personal celebrity car, but it's for us, it's a really, really easy thing. I mean, literally, it is a thing with us is relationships, right? It's a matter of, we're not going through agents, we're not going through all that stuff. We text. It's hey, we're coming up, Chief. We're coming up, we're taking a video of your car, we're doing a 3D render of your car, and we're throwing them out to the Fantom community. They're going to get first dibs on the pre-sale of your car, and it could potentially be raced in game. And these guys, listen, we don't bring any guys on, whether it's Big U, Stevie, Dre, whoever we bring on, they're not going to just put their name to it and their car to it, but they're going to be racing too. We're going to make sure that we do some live streams where they're going to be either commentating on the races. We're going to have some fun with this stuff. So we do things a lot different than a lot of organizations where they're just going to throw these little games out there that's could be fun, could not be fun. Potentially it's just to up your value of your NFT. Which to us, it's not. Listen, yeah, value is great, money is great, but money is not everything, right? You got to have a little fun in this. So,
okay, hold on. So, yes, I agree.
I guess money is everything to this one.
Definitely, for sure, we're in it for the fun. We're in it for a lot of reasons. Fun, it's not going to happen unless fun is involved. But let's talk about the speculation on NFTs and why it's important to have utility for the NFTs, utility being playing in game or in different types of activity, like on social media. Your NFT can be active on social media, develop a life of their own.
Utility is a big thing. Again, our first NFT was with Chief Keef back in 2018. We partnered with Engine and Devin at OpenSea. We minted to him and his microphone. We didn't just want an animation, right? We wanted to make sure that microphone or something was in game. So we got his microphone in game to where if you found, I think it was Unforgotten World, one of the games where if you found his microphone, you power it up. So it's all about utility for us, right? There's a lot of stuff out there that has no utility. And listen, this bubble is going to burst, right? It's 6 months out, 12 months out, like the sports cars and, all that stuff. And who knows what's going to be valuable, but utility is where it's at, right? Whether it's concert tickets and memberships and all that, and utility is a big thing for us. So we will not throw anything out unless it has some sort of utility. And we're talking, a lot of NFT collections have one utility piece, right? If you look at the ICO boom, a few years ago, there was barely any utility to these coins, but still making money. That's where we are now, right? So in 6 months, everything's kind of, the waters are going to kind of clear up, and the utility and the NFT collections with the real utility, which is not only in game, but the membership and everything, like the cars, right? If you're an owner of a car, you're not only going to be able to play it in game, which is great, and that's what a lot of these NFT collections are kind of hoping for, to build that value.
Well, they're saying it will be playable in game. A lot of people are, but the games, there's no path to actually creating the games.
Yeah,
we actually have games that are already made.
It's our space, but it's more than that, right? It's not just in game, but it's the membership and everything that comes with. I mean, we have the ability to live stream with these celebrities and bring them into the community and meet and greets and concerts. We can get backstage in concerts, all this stuff. And that brings us to the membership. We're going to have a membership. We're going to throw out a membership to where if you own that membership NFT, you're going to get access to everything, right? I might even throw my cell phone in there for that, right? It's like, why not? I talk to anybody, right? I just think access is a big deal, right? I think just having that access, or just knowing that you have that access, is a big deal. It's a big deal to me, and I have a lot of access to, we have some access to some cool things, right? But it's still like, yeah, it's may not be the coolest thing in the world, but it's just like, knowing that you have that access is big, right? So we're going to make sure that not only our collection, because not everyone is going to be gamified, but there's going to be utility in everything that we bring. And we're going to make sure to every celebrity that we bring in, they're going to know that it's not a matter of just putting your name out, because your name is only going to go so far. I tell my celebrities and athletes, especially in the gaming space, listen, you may not even want to use your real name. Use a gaming name, get a gaming name, a streaming name, and stream as that, because people in the gaming space don't care that you're playing football on Sunday, right? They don't care that you made this album or that album. So even our celebrity collections, we're not even putting their names out there, right? We are kind of infusing their celebrity into the NFT collection, but we're not just playing off their names. We just don't. I don't think that's what this space really wants. I think they want cool collections, and it just makes it a little cooler that the celebrities are involved.
Yep, totally agree. And involved in the community. So is there anything else that you want to add before we kick it over?
Listen, I can go on and on about how we're getting into the metaverse and how the celebrities, but I'm gonna just stop right here, and if anyone has any questions, we'll just go that route.
Thanks so much to Greg and Tammy. Do we have any questions from the audience at all? Yes, can we get a microphone up the back there, please? Thank you. What's your question? I knew it was going to be you, Don.
I thought so. Thank you, Emma. Big thank you to Tammy and Greg. Was very informative. I'm coming from the movie and film industry here in Europe, and we have celebrities here too. They're not known all over the world, but when we're doing marketing, they could be very helpful. In a market like Germany, Switzerland, France, Spain. And what I would really like to do, and this is a very simple question, I would like to brainstorm with you what possibilities we could do in Europe. Would you say yes?
Listen, of course. Are you kidding me? We would brainstorm with you and anybody else out there. I think there's some really, really cool things that we can do. And, for me, it's a matter of, I meet people on the street that are the best people in the world that can, you wind up, we met someone in the pool and we started a whole company with them. So for me, I would never give up an opportunity. I don't want to go into a story, but for me, it's a matter of never giving up an opportunity. And if opportunity like you presents himself, hey, listen, we're all in. So definitely we'll give you our information, and we're all in to open up to any kind of communication for sure.
Yeah, okay, so absolutely. I'll ask Carrie just to give me your network connects, and we'll take it from there.
Cool. That sounds good to me.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
know
Excuse
that
me?
we're interested in building this global company. So we know, I mean, we're based in California near LA, which is the heart of, multiple industries. However, globally is like all of the activity globally is what makes those industries actually powered. And we believe that bringing celebrities into different communities and different cultures, that's actually a really powerful thing too, and it can break down some barriers. So not only is it something that we would entertain, we're actually really excited about it.
Yeah, and you talk about the film and content and digital content creation. Like, I don't think people realize how much an NFT can give, unique access to that film. And if it's live, right? We're thinking about, and not to throw this, if anybody wants to take the idea, take it and run with it, because we didn't do it yet, so it serves us right. But you can imagine a travel show or something where if you own an NFT in that travel show, you can say where that person has to eat or has to fly or has to do this. The utility of owning a certain NFT, I know I just gave it away, but listen, we didn't jump on it. But it's just having that NFT, if you can say, hey, there's a bachelor and I'm telling the bachelor that he has to eat and she has to eat at a certain place, that's a cool thing to be able to own, right? That utility of that NFT. Again, we didn't even scratch the surface of what an NFT and that utility can do. So in the music and content space, or the film and content space, I think there's so much potential. So yeah, love to talk to you, man. I appreciate you standing up and giving us a question. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks
Pleasure
so
to
much
meet
for
you.
that. Has anyone else got any questions in the audience they want to ask? It should just be on.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Well, I'm a developer, so I guess am I the only developer here? Is there any other developers? So I guess you could say I'm an NFT skeptic, because I remember the bull run from 2017, and the NFTs have been around for about 5 years now. And personally, I came into this presentation hoping to see how exactly you can utilize NFTs uniquely to do something that celebrities already cannot do traditionally, right? And if you could speak more about that, because the thing is, an NFT is just a hash function of a given file uploaded to a specific blockchain. And if you know things about digital media, all digital media can be copied exactly. If I were to write an MP3 file out in ones and zeros on a huge notebook, it would be exactly the same as the transistor map of the same MP3 file that exists in my mobile phone or my laptop or anything else. So when people talk about NFTs and uniqueness in digital media, usually they kind of miss out that there is a fundamental difference between physical and digital copies. Anyway, the question specifically
First
is...
of all, I think skepticism is a great thing. Listen, I'm skeptical of most things, right? I think the space, how it is now, how it's been over the last 12 months, made a lot of skeptics, right? Just some of the artwork and stuff that came out that people that are going for millions of dollars, right? Who wouldn't be skeptical of that? Like, what is actually this, right?
It also made a lot of millionaires, and the market runs on speculation. So
yeah,
there's that you have to keep in mind.
Yeah, okay, this is the good, bad cop, I guess. But yeah, listen, I'm a skeptic too, when it comes to NFTs, but I do say I'm skeptic in terms of what actually is selling now, as opposed to what this space is going to be in 12 months, right? Again, I had a lot of hard conversations saying this, and this is, the time has passed. And I do think, again, this space, I have to admit, the reason why we're even talking about NFTs is because of some of these crazy looking characters that are selling for millions of dollars, right? So if it wasn't for those, which I wouldn't buy either, if it wasn't for those, we wouldn't even be talking about NFTs, right? So at least we're talking about it. At least it's in the mainstream. So just for that reason alone, I'm thankful for this space as it is now. But I definitely see that it is a bubble that's going to burst to some degree when it comes to that stuff, right? The $1 million, $2 million artwork that has no utility. But when you're talking about the difference between actually physically having, like, this is my book, and you can say you have my book, but this is mine. I have it. It's obviously that I have it. On the digital side, all I can say is listen, a lot of things that I do goes based on what my kids do, right? You know, and when, you know, Fortnite skins and all these things that they have on the digital side, they're going towards that digital side as opposed to the physical side more and more. And I can't say that they don't own it. They do, right? You know, Fortnite skins, obviously, the true ownership is not a thing. But when it comes to it, you know, you look at the NBA top shops where, yeah, you know, I own this dunk, but I can take that dunk off the internet too, right? But there is a matter of I can prove that true ownership. So it does come down to that, whether it's, you know, you think that's, oh, that sounds good or something. It is a reality where you can prove true ownership of whatever it is, and that's the blockchain proves it. So just for that reason alone, I think when you're a skeptic, you just got to take baby steps, right? And the baby steps got to start with, yeah, I might not physically have it, but I can prove that I own it over your proof because it's on the blockchain and it's provable, right? So that's a baby step that's the foundation. And then you can start learning more about the space and the utility and all the good stuff that comes with may not be physical, but it's the digital version of it. I own it. You don't own it. You can say you own it, but you don't. I do. And this is the stuff that I can do with it. I can get into a concert with this digital thing, as opposed to you saying I have the same little NFT or I have the same little digital asset. But if I go up to a ticket counter, I can get in and she can't because I proved that I own it. And that's provable through the blockchain. So that's the foundation of what an NFT is. Definitely, listen, you can be skeptical, but I think if you just take that step back from all the stuff that's out there and it's selling for the millions of dollars that nobody understands why, just step back and say, it is just because it's not physical, it's digital. It does prove true ownership based on the blockchain. And there's true utility. What that utility is for that NFT, you know, it all depends on the NFT, but you can prove ownership and that's provable through the blockchain. So if you step back and just have that foundation and then just build off that, you'll lose that skepticism a little bit. But listen, you're always going to have it until something clicks, right? Until somebody gives you an NFT and say, hey, come to the concert. And you give your friend the same little digital version, and you both go up to that ticket counter, and you're the only one that can walk through, and they have to sit in the back. Then you'll say, okay, I get it. Right? You know, it's not a physical thing; it's a digital piece, but it gave me access.
Exactly. That's actually. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, that's exactly what I was going for. That was the answer I was hoping to get because, as you said there, if you issue tickets via NFTs, then there's a real utility for those unique tickets, right? But, you know, in general, like if you talk about just art, right? Owning the Mona Lisa is owning a piece of history, the same canvas that Leonardo da Vinci himself was painting over. Owning an NFT of the Mona Lisa is, I'm just reading from my phone because I put this into words a while back. If you own an NFT of the Mona Lisa, you own an official certificate from the Louvre Museum saying that you're the first tourist ever to take a photo of the Mona Lisa since it has been held at the Louvre. So that's why there's a difference between uniqueness that can be used and uniqueness that is just namesake. But again, the example you gave is a perfect example of how you can actually use that uniqueness for actual utility.
Yeah, listen, I bought my sister a piece of the moon a few years ago for Christmas. That doesn't mean I own a piece of the moon. That's just like this Mona Lisa thing. I think you gotta, take that off your phone. And that's just some of the things that are like, listen, that's there's some of the, like the Mona Lisa, like that to me is, it doesn't really show that really, it's not you don't own the Mona Lisa, right? You just don't own it. So to me, that's like owning a piece of the moon, that you're buying something and you're really not owning that. I don't think they say you're looking at me crazy. He's looking at me like I'm nuts. I think that might be, to me, I would be skeptical of that, right? I'd be skeptical of me owning a piece of the moon or a star or something like that. But when you do have real access to it, I think that those things are the things that a lot of people are skeptical of the space because of those things, right? I don't own the Mona Lisa, right? The Mona Lisa is up there, the digital version of it. Okay. That to me is something that the space needs to kind of get away from and show real utility.
Yeah.
Did I save myself a little bit?
I think that's fair. I would say one of the positives of this is that it provides an application for blockchain that the general public can start to latch onto a little bit. It's not mainstream yet. I think that there's very little that's on the blockchain that's truly in mainstream, and everybody gets it, and it's off and running. And I would love it if somebody can show me examples of something that that counters that. But the NFT space and the rise of NFTs over the last 18 months specifically has really given light to some of the applications that can be really useful. And as Greg was saying with the tickets, this idea of counterfeit tickets, like that's it's so clear, and so many people struggled with that, lost money with it, and there are lawsuits with all of these secondhand ticket platforms because of the counterfeit issue. This is one way to use blockchain to wipe that out, basically, right? So there's that, and then I'd say about the art side, the value is in the eye of the buyer, right? Because if you think about the memorabilia market, that's maybe a photo of somebody making a great catch in a football game, and it's signed, and then it goes for $300 or more. So I do think that there's something about, there are some parallels that you can look to for human motivation, right? You're looking at the human condition and motivation. People want to be attached to celebrities, which is something that a celebrity creates an NFT collection and then has some involvement in the community. I think that there's real potential there to change the view on NFTs. So we're looking forward to that. If you have more ideas about it, we'd love to hear them.
Yeah, I see your point. It's also about just adoption of blockchain in the real world. So thanks for the answer.
Yeah.
Any other questions? And please, I don't know how we can do it, but if anyone else in the audience has any other questions, we can get on Discord, Telegram, and we're open up to any kind of conversations for sure.
Yeah.
As you can see, I talk and talk.